Welcome to Glowing Success. My name is Heidi and I am your host. This podcast is for beauty entrepreneurs. Join me weekly as we dive into the beauty industry's ins and outs, from business strategies, top-selling services, and taboo topics. I will be interviewing industry leaders with empowering stories and game-changing insights. Let's illuminate your path to success together. Let's jump into this next episode. Today, I'm joined by the internet's favorite breaker of good news and self-proclaimed professional yapper, Iyonce. She's also the creator behind the podcast Friend Pick Up the Phone. She's always on top of what's happening. And yes, she also stitched my viral kicking a client out video on TikTok. And we'll talk about that in a little bit. But we're also going to be here talking about how she built her platform, how she keeps up with the breaking news stories that she does share, what happens when narratives spread really fast at lightning speed, and what it's actually like being a real person behind viral moments. But thank you for joining me, Iyonce.
Hi, thank you for having me. I think this might be my second podcast invite, so thank you
Interview.
for having me. I was very excited about the invite, so I'm happy to be here.
I love it. Yeah, I'm happy you came on too. Anytime I ask somebody to be on my podcast, I'm always like, I don't know. I don't know what they're gonna
Yeah, yeah,
say,
yeah,
but
for
like
sure.
I'm gonna
It's
ask.
No, I'm
I've
here. I'm here.
I've heard a lot of no's, so don't get me wrong. I've definitely
Okay.
people be telling me no all the time. So it is what it
You're
is,
used to it.
right?
You're like, no big deal.
Yeah, totally.
Cool.
So let's get to know you a little bit more. If you could share a little bit about yourself, like how did you get started making videos on TikTok? And honestly, what inspired you to start your own podcast, Friend Pick Up the Phone?
Well, yes, I started just yapping, right? I am the only child. So with that comes a lot of responsibility to entertain yourself, to find spaces that serve you because you don't have siblings to fuss at. So I've always been the yapper. When I was in school, the report cards, the grades were great, but the teachers were always right. She talks too much. She talks too much. And so as I got older, I was just like, I'm just gonna still talk. I haven't I was afraid of TikTok for a while. You know what I'm saying? I was afraid of it. I was just like, I'm not going over there. So then I got on there and just started yapping, and the trajectory of where that it was and where it is now is just crazy to me. And so because I cover a lot of current events and because I am literally just yapping about things going on in the world as if I was talking to a friend, as if I had someone that I could just talk to about, but we all have lives. Everyone's busy. My real friends, I can't yap to them like I do on social media. So it's just given an opportunity to just yap, unauthentically. You know what I'm saying? Like this is me. This is me. I don't have a niche. I am not putting my tripod in different corners. That's not me. I'm not that girl. I am a hot mess. And so the podcast came from that. It's like friend pick up the phone. We're having a conversation. We're talking about what's going on while you're driving, while you're taking care of kids. It's for the everyday person. You don't have to necessarily be a woman. You don't necessarily have to be a white or a black woman. You can be whoever you are. And when you listen to the podcast, it's as if you're having a conversation with your friend.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
like that. Honestly, I really hear you because there's so much time in my day that I'm like, oh man, I wish I could just talk to my friend real quick about this, or I'll send usually text messages to people and be like, blah blah
But
blah
then you
blah
have
blah.
to wait. You have to
Right,
wait for a reply.
right.
No, the comments are there.
Yeah. And honestly, I didn't join TikTok until like last year or like end of
Mhm,
2024 or like
mhm.
beginning of 2025. So like I didn't join when everybody else did either. So I agree with you on
Yeah.
that one. Like I was a little bit also the same thing way back in the day. I didn't join Twitter for that same reason, is like I just felt
Mhm,
like it was kind of not my speed. I didn't like I
mhm.
wasn't on social media like that. So like but now that I've joined TikTok and I've really embraced it to a certain extent, like It's actually really fun. Like
Yeah.
it's so different than all the other
Yeah, it
platforms.
is. It really is. It really is.
I love
Yeah.
that because, like, I do feel like you can be a little bit authentic on TikTok, like a little bit
Yeah.
differently authentic. Obviously, it's still censored, it's
Different.
still
Yeah, for sure.
monitored, but different style. So I appreciate that. And your podcast, it makes me laugh. I will say when I
Oh,
listen to
thank
it, I'm like,
you.
oh, and I do listen to my podcast like either to and from work. So like,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, like, I love a good podcast
right?
on a treadmill? Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it makes the time go by faster. Because you're a professional yapper, and this is probably something really easy to you, but like, where do you find out about all your stuff, like in real time? Like, I know there's so many news sources on TikTok, there's so many
Mhm.
places to follow. Like, what is your kind of routine for finding up and keeping up with the new topics and like what is going on that day? Because you seem to be very good at that.
Yeah, and that's crazy because if you knew everything that I did in a day, you'd be like, "Girl, are you like" and I still get 8 hours of sleep, okay? But that's important to me, like, sleep is sacred. But I have, trusted news sources that and when it comes to the news, right? So trusted news sources that I go to just to get information, and then I am also chronically online, right? So if I'm open my TikTok, I'm literally in the notification to scroll the FYP, something is just like, "Hey girl, this is what you need to see." And then I just yap about it, or my followers have been very good, like, about tagging me, sorry, not sending, because the inbox is not, that's another monkey in it. I'm sorry, guys, if you have messaged me, I am not the girl that's gonna get that, but, if they mention me and I'm able to see the video, and then I'm just like, "Oh, I didn't know about that. This is something that needs to be talked about," especially things that have been shadow banned or, swept under the radar. I do wanna shed light on things that people need to know about. So, that's what I do, girl.
I love it. So it's just natural. It sounds like it's natural
Mhm.
because
Yeah.
honestly, and like we're all a little bit chronically online. Let's be honest.
Mhm.
Like
Yeah, we have to
most
disassociate some kinda way,
totally. And like
for sure.
it's an addiction. Let's like call it what it is. Like we're
Mhm.
all
It
slightly
is.
addicted to certain things. And like I will say mass majority of people around me, they are addicted to social media, whether like to admit it or not. Now, I
Yeah.
definitely have people around me that are not, and I'm very jealous of them because I'm like, okay,
Like, what do you do? What
you got
what
you got other things you're addicted to probably, but okay.
Yeah, like, something's going on, like
Yeah, how are you releasing some of these emotions? Yeah. Like what is your escape? And also like honestly, that's why I mean social media, let's be honest, was created for people to connect and for people to be entertained. And let's not forget
Mhm.
about that, right? Like
Yeah.
and so, I think people we've gotten it too serious with it sometimes, and so that's one thing I appreciate about certain people's like I don't know, posts and stories and their
Yeah.
videos that they do because it does keep it light and but staying up to date with stuff is hard because even with people like all the stuff going on in Minnesota and Minneapolis, like,
Yeah.
obviously they're suppressing a lot of that stuff. And so, sometimes I'll share things just because I'm like, hey, I think if people can share it, like, hopefully it'll get out there. And
Exposure is real. Exposure is definitely real.
Yeah. So you ended up stitching the video of my client. So my ex-client that I kicked out,
Mhm.
she posted a video after I kicked
Mhm.
her out that day, and which was really shortly after I kicked her out that day, which I
It was
appreciate
quick.
also because she, I don't appreciate the video entirely, and we can go into that, but like I will say, like I appreciate the time that she posted it because the time that I was supposed to be doing her service. So usually with lash extensions, I give myself about an hour and a half.
Mhm.
I've been doing lashes for 15 years, so that's kind of the time frame that I leave myself. So
Mhm.
because I kicked her out before she even started her service, like and she posted that video almost immediately. I had that
Mhm.
time still available to like do
Mhm.
all the
Do some
aftermath
kinda
of it.
damage control, yeah.
Yeah, but what made you want to stitch that video?
I love a good, white woman call out moment, and please stitch that. Please give me this clip, okay? I love a good white woman call out moment because in the community, when it comes to African American women, we want white women to be called out by their own. We're tired of calling y'all out, you know what I'm saying? Um we have literally for decades done the work to when it comes to equality and civil rights, and I'm not taking away from the white people that marched with us, right? At all. Yes, because I still have allies to this day in the Hispanic community and the Caucasian community, so it doesn't really matter. But I love a good moment to show my community that there are white women that literally don't play, that are loud, that are unapologetically aware and don't have a problem saying that. Because of the biggest issue has always been the quietness that white women have when it comes to sinking into their privilege, right? If you look the part, then no one's gonna know what side you're on, so I'm just gonna be quiet. And I did appreciate the fact that you were very loud. I loved it. I loved it. I did not know that I would find you in the comments though. You were like, "Hi, it's me." And I'm like, "Yes," immediately. Like, without a doubt. I didn't and I think that those types of actions are bigger than someone saying, "Oh, I'm sorry," or "I stand with you," or I didn't vote for this," or whatever the case may be. So, um, that's why. That's why. It
Okay.
was a no-brainer.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Honestly, I agree with you. I think a lot more white people, specifically white women, need to be really loud, really angry,
Mhm.
really being as loud and colorful and all the things that they can do. And
Mhm.
because, like you said earlier, like Black women specifically have been holding it down for a long time. Like you guys have been doing the things that you should be doing,
Yeah.
the things that we all should be doing, to be honest. And so, it's sad that we had to have Renee Good's murder happen in order for a lot of white women to be like, "Oh my God, this can happen to
Yeah.
me." But here
Yeah.
we are, right? Like,
But we're here. We're here. We've been here,
right,
but y'all are just
right,
catching up, and I get
right,
that. I get that.
right. And honestly, like it was funny because during the uprisings in 2020, after
Mhm.
George Floyd's murder here, I was very active in the community and like doing things, but like I will say, like, probably not to the extent that I could have been, right? And
Mhm.
so,
Mhm.
there's some of that's from that. Like,
Right,
I
right.
really, really should have been more open during that time. And I probably would have gone through this already with my clients, right?
Mhm.
But I don't know, like, kind of how I went over in my long video that I did on my Patreon because I was like, well, I can't post everything on TikTok, so I posted on Patreon. But basically, I did like my version of a clapback video. I kind of said in there, like, there's a lot of clients that I take, and being in business for 15 years, I have a lot of clients that
Mhm.
have come to me for those 15 years. But like,
Right.
there's a lot of clients I take that I don't take that often. Her, for instance, I don't see her very often. I saw her like, close in a row there because she had vacations that were close together. But like, I hadn't seen her previous to
Right.
that previous fill for like a long
Mhm.
time. So anyway,
Right.
but sometimes when people only see me like twice a year or like once a year for like vacations or what have you, they come in, I do my consultation, they go on my recliner and they fall asleep. And
Mhm.
it's such a great nap time. So I get
Mhm.
it. But like, and then I check them out. So I don't really get to know some of my clients as
Yeah.
well as I probably could have. Now, some of my clients
Right.
that come to me like all the time, I've known them for 15 years. Like we know each other. Like we've had
Mhm.
conversations, we've had heart to hearts. Like, so I think like unfortunately, because I was not as loud and as like, hey, I'm not taking people doing this anymore, you know, that's why I've come up to that. But like, I do wish that I could have kind of, I don't know, been a little bit more loud, been a little bit more like,
Yeah.
earlier because those things definitely people need to feel uncomfortable. People need to have those conversations. People need to, and then also, then I'm not living a double life, right? Like I
Right.
I live in Minneapolis and I work in the suburbs. And so like
Mhm.
so part of my existence is like I live, in a very diverse area. Like I'm in an interracial relationship. Like I have
Mhm.
people in my family, so it's like, but then I come out here and it's just a very different world. Like
Yeah.
and it's just the reality of living in the Twin Cities sometimes too. But
Mhm.
I think, some of that is like my husband was even saying this to me. He was like, you probably haven't been authentically yourself for a long time at your job. Like you
Mhm.
you kind of are masking or you're doing all these things and
Mhm.
it's like it's
Mhm.
going to feel a lot better for you to show up authentically and just
Yeah.
be who you are 100% of the time and you just have to,
Yeah.
assume that risk. And so I think as a business owner, like it's a little scary because obviously like that is how I make most of my income, like you know what
Yeah.
I mean. And so for me it's like I think, but now that I've gone through this experience of like being very open, honest, like being very loud about it, like I think it's so much better on the other
It
side.
feels
Like
so good. It feels
so
so
good.
good, like, just to be at peace with what in any space, right?
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
so, I commend you for that. I commend you for that, and I think that it shed light to a lot of other white women on either side, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
Women who are service professionals who may struggle with that, and then other women who support the Dollar Tree dictator, they're like, "Oh, shit, I might lose my nail lady," you know what I'm saying? So,
Mhm.
I do love that, I love that part of it for sure.
Yeah. And I have seen a lot of more people become a little bit more, yeah, like they're a little bit more like confident when it comes to being who they are in their
Mhm.
business. So I've seen that kind of happen now, like a ripple
Yeah.
effect. Not for me necessarily, but like just a ripple effect in the I don't want to give myself that much credit.
Yeah.
But, like, I just seen that ripple effect happen in the service community, specifically the beauty industry, and so I love that because, yeah,
Mhm.
you're seeing a lot more nail techs, hairstylists, like,
Yeah.
estheticians, like, tell people, like, "Hey, I don't accept these people, like, ICE can't come into my establishment," like, all these things, and it makes me so happy because,
Yeah.
I think as a service provider too, like, we do end up taking a lot of clients that sometimes we just don't
You just don't know.
jam with.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
and
and so
that's how it goes.
I know, and but it sucks because like you don't want to, that's not how it should go. Like you
Yeah.
should be happy with all the clients you take, especially if you're a business owner. Like that's why a lot of business owners
Mhm.
become business owners is because we didn't want to take all the weird people we took for a while and like we want to
Yeah.
do things differently and you know what I mean? So, okay, so for creators, so anybody that is trying to grow online, and they're listening, if you're a creator, and whether it doesn't matter what channel you're on, like what are a few things that help you grow? Because you said like it grew kind of crazy and you didn't expect it. But like I'm sure there's like some things that you picked up along the way that you're like, okay, I see this.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think consistency is key. First of all, if you're gonna start something, you're going to have to be consistent in it. The algorithm on any app doesn't appreciate you coming and going. It's like a relationship. You can't just keep walking out the door. So consistency is definitely important, and then finding your voice. Don't just and this is what I see a lot with a lot of newer content creators is they're just throwing stuff out just to see kinda what sticks, and that's okay, but it's still not authentic. It's still not you, and I think that in whatever you do, whether you are a niche content creator, then you should stick to that and perfect that craft, you know what I'm saying? I do think that authenticity is what's in now, right? I think that right now the world is circulating around people's voices and what they have to say, while all just kind of providing a space for people to disassociate with, right? Um, and so I think that authenticity is key, like, and you can't truly be successful if you haven't figured out who you are, right? I think that when I started doing just yapping, I was yapping about things that I probably wouldn't be aligned with, right? I was just like talking about things that were going on, but it was no interest to me. Like, I don't care that these people are married and they're fighting and it's so messy. I love gossip though, right? And so I had to find a way to connect with and I wouldn't say I had to find a way, but I just found a way to connect because social media was never my goal, right? The podcast was never my goal, and I think what I question so much about my purpose is, like, what is it? What is my purpose? Never would have thought it would have been here, but I'm so comfortable in it, right? I'm so comfortable in it, and I think that that's what everything that I've done before in my life, even my career, it's never been my purpose, right? It's always stemmed away from a need to provide, right? And so now social media has given me a platform to connect with different people, to learn people, to have conversations, and to be slightly confrontational at the same time. Who? Hello. um, and then just giving people just enough, like, so that they understand that I am human, that
Mm-hmm.
that I will respond as a human, but then also just kinda creating a safe space. That's what I wanted. That's what I've always wanted is a safe space where people can come to my page and know that you're on the right side, right? That you know that if I'm saying something, it's never to tear anyone down. And it might, if I'm gossiping, I'm sorry, but you put it out there, right? I will
Right.
never talk about someone's information that they have not put on the internet. So You put it out there. But,
Yep.
the people that are watching the videos, I want them to know that they have a safe space to be, because like, in this world, it's so hard to know who's on your side and who's not.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so yeah, and I have a series that's very, very prominent, the Am I MAGA presenting series, so
Yep.
I give
Yep.
identifiers to women, to white women. Like,
Mhm.
if I see you, don't ask me why I'm not smiling at you, it's because I don't trust you based on how you're dressed. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So
Yep.
yeah, I love that.
I like that too. And honestly, like the name of yours, like friend pick up the phone, like it instantly resonates of like, yeah, this is gonna be a friendly conversation. Like this is gonna be, and then I do feel like your content, no matter what you're talking about, because sometimes you do talk about really political heavy, because
Yeah.
obviously that's what's going on right now. Like, but you still deliver it in a way that like feels like we're just chatting and like you're just
Yeah.
like sharing the tea, so to speak. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I love that because I don't know. Yeah,
That's the point, you know?
yeah. I'm glad that you said that, like, finding the authenticity in it and like finding your voice and finding who you are and like navigating life because I was just talking to my sister about this the other day about how, so I'm 41.
Okay.
And I think a lot of people in my age, like in my sister's close, we're close in age. I think a lot of people in our age, we are kind of going through like everybody's like starting over their career.
Oh
Like,
my
you know what I mean?
god.
Like we're not like we've done things for a
I
long
thought
time.
it was just me and my friend group, honestly. I'm
No.
42.
Okay, so
I'm
yeah,
42.
so you're in the age.
Um,
I'm like, we're all kind of like, because like even for me, like I've had my spa for 15 years now, and I started my coaching business back in 2022, and I started doing this podcast back then. And
mhm,
like, love my spa, love it. But like, I want to move on from it. And like, I love my coaching, but I'm even like finding some parts of it that are just not resonating with me. And I love
mhm,
so it's like, I really resonated with when you said that because I'm like, I'm probably in that right now, like where I'm
mhm,
trying to find
mhm.
my fit in the world again and trying to find myself again. Because, like you said, a lot of
Yeah.
what we've all been doing, a lot of older millennials specifically, like elder millennials, like we've all had jobs or went to school and did things because it was out of necessity. A lot of times, of like we
Mhm,
had to pay the bills. We grew up a lot from, we had children really young or what have you. So, like,
mhm.
I think it's interesting because no, it's a really big conversation with a lot of friends that are like around the same age. Like, we're all
My
kind of
friends
going
and
through it.
I were literally this past weekend, my friends and I were like we were talking about, like, what we were going to do or what we had coming up and the change, like, major life changes, I'm saying.
Hmm.
And one of my friends said, "Are we going through a midlife crisis?"
Yeah.
And we were like, "Hmm, well, maybe this is it," you know?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
but hold on, because 'cause I'm not ready. Like,
I
I'm
know.
I'm still young in my head. And
Totally.
so, yeah, so it's good to hear that it's not just me and my friend group. We are literally just kinda
We're going through
flying
it.
by the wind, figuring it out, a lot of
Yeah.
different changes, and but I think that by us being older and being aware of, like, what we want, what we need, what the desires are, what our goals look like, and what peace looks like, I think
Hmm.
that at the end of the day, like, it'll all be good because we're not living like our ancestors, like our moms and I just refuse
Mm-mm.
to live a life like that, right? And so,
Hmm.
even in my community, like, breaking generational curses and living a life that serves you is more important than having a husband, 2 kids, and a picket fence. It's not that
Right. Yeah.
serious.
No, for sure. 100%.
Yeah,
Like, yeah, and I think there's a lot of people posting this online right now, and at least I've seen it, is like they're the first woman in their lineage to do the things that they're doing, right?
yeah,
Essentially, because obviously, like boomer parents, there's certain, societal things that they had to deal with. And so I think, yeah, there's something to be that, but also the 40s. I think the 40s will hit you. Like it's weird. Like if you're listening and you're in your 30s, like the 40s are different. Like they just hit
I
you
don't
different. You know what I mean? Like
do you think like, okay,
I
so
don't
I
know.
think I don't know yet because we're still at the
We
beginning, but
are. Yes, yes, yes.
I'm a little afraid of the 40s, but not as afraid of as I am of the
The
50s,
50s,
right?
yeah,
So,
for sure.
I think the 30s went by way too fast, so now 40s are
Fast.
allowing me to slow down and identify, right? To slow
Yeah.
down and make a plan, like, I still have time, right?
Yeah.
And so that's what I'm saying to myself, like, each day counts, and so I do have a lot of things going on during the day, but it's because I don't wanna lay down and not do anything, like, I just
Yeah.
can't.
Yeah.
So,
I
yeah.
love that. Yeah, no, I think for me, the 40s feel different just because, like, I think, yeah, like you said, I'm kind of going through like a midlife crisis. We're
Mhm.
all going through our body changes. Like, I do think like
Mhm.
perimenopause is like very crazy. Yeah, it's just in general, like, it's just like it's an identity shift for sure, like
Mhm.
100%. So, like, it's crazy. Okay, but so creators, going back to my question, just stay consistent. That's like the biggest thing. And I think
Yes.
honestly, like sometimes the inconsistency is generally stemming from, so if you're listening and you're not consistent with your stuff and you do want to do stuff online and like content creation is really exciting to you or what have you, if you're trying to build your platform, like, and you're not, and you find yourself not being consistent, sometimes it's because you're not authentically to that, right? Like,
Mhm.
you need to
Mhm.
feel so authentic to it that it is going to be an easy thing for you to do.
Second
And
nature,
yeah.
like, if a thought comes so now, and the reason why I say that is something comes and I see something, my thought isn't to text my friend. My thought is, "I gotta get this on to the people, my friends, my other friends, they wanna know too." And
Right.
shit, my friends follow me, so they'll see it too.
Right.
You
Yeah.
know, like,
Yes.
you
Yes. Yes.
know, they'll see it when they see it.
Yeah.
And, I just think that and a lot of creators do this, right? A lot of
Right.
people are but I think that what separates me from the masses is that you will never have to second guess my intentions behind the content, right?
Right.
It's
Right.
not to go viral. My
Mm. Yep.
reason for posting videos isn't to make 12 cents
Yep.
on a per view on a not, like
Right.
per 1,000 views on
Right.
TikTok, you know?
Right. Right.
Um, and I think that when you go about it like that, don't chase a number, don't
Yeah.
chase the money, like, it's not gonna work out.
Right.
And that came from lessons that I've had to learn, like, when I got into the creator program, I was like, "Oh, here comes the dough. Post, post, post," and I was like, "Oh,
Mm-mm.
no, this is not how we're doing it." And so if
Mm-mm.
something sticks, it sticks. If not, like, I my main concern is getting the content to I want the people to see it. I
Yep.
don't want anyone to put me in the corner and say,
Yep.
"No, you're in timeout because you're talking about something that we don't like."
Yep.
That's my biggest issue.
Yeah. And you can
Yeah.
see it, if you follow
Mhm.
people and they're just doing things because like people can see it. Same thing with like being a service provider, right? Like if I go to a service provider and I find like they're not like really passionate about what they're doing, you can
Yeah,
feel
then
it. Like
yeah.
you pick it up right away. So yes, I'm still lost with my content. I still don't know really what I want to be talking about. So like I'm jealous of people who really have found their way. So
Girl,
well,
it's
I'll get there though.
if you would not believe I'm gonna tell you something. A year ago, over a year ago, I was listening to Taylor Swift songs and dissecting them. I went through an immense dive on Taylor Swift because she supported Kamala. I wanted to learn more and took a deep dive, like, with a musical ear from, like, understanding who she was, and I grew to really like her, right?
Hmm.
And I was like,
Hmm.
"Okay, uh, okay." And so I had this whole crew of Swifties that were, like, not playing behind me, and I know they're still there. I know they still
Cute.
watch. I'm still really good friends with a lot of them, but they know I'm mad with Taylor. They know that
Yeah.
I'm upset. They know that I'm upset with her, and I think that
Hmm.
that's just the value of having people that you like, you know what I'm saying? But I'm very mad with her right now, so I don't really talk
Yeah.
about her much anymore. I would like for her to be more vocal. I would
Yes.
love for her to say something, and then
Hmm.
I turn around and I'm like, "But I love Beyoncé, right? I don't play behind Beyoncé. Yes,
Hmm.
I'm a fan of
Hmm.
Beyoncé." But the reason that I can separate the both of them is because I know that Beyoncé says it in her music on a like, you know where she stands through her music, through her the way that she shows up, and so
Right.
I just wish that Taylor did at least something like that, but that's neither here nor there. But I said all of that to say that my journey has always just been whatever it is at that moment, and now it's more structured to the climate, and then after when the world is healed,
Because that
when
day will
we are
come,
out of
people.
when we are out of the simulation, my content will still be the same. It'll revolve and evolve with the
Yeah.
world, right? I met Jasmine Crockett yesterday, you know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
yeah.
And so
That's
it's just
awesome.
like I've just been put in positions where I could let my voice be heard, but then also the people's voices who other people need to hear as well.
Are you in Texas?
I am.
Okay, so okay, that makes sense then.
I'm in
Yeah,
Houston.
I feel you on that one. I've never been a Taylor Swift fan, so I've never joined in on that conversation. I'm not even
Yeah.
a really big, strong Beyonce fan, and it has nothing to do with her and herself. I'm like, I have other music that I'm interested in, but like,
Yeah, and that's
I will
understandable.
say, but it's kind of funny because watching all of the things, but like, I will say Taylor Swift, she's a prime example of how a white woman could be doing something with her platform to affect other white women, and she's not. And who knows why, right? She could be getting paid, she
Mhm,
could be not getting paid, she could be silenced, like she could not really freaking care about it, you know what I mean, like
mhm.
to the level that people think she should, like.
That's
But
true.
I think it's interesting because I think the same thing is revolving around like really big content creators, and sometimes when you do have a big
Absolutely.
platform, like I do feel like some of that you are part of the conversation, right? Because you
Well,
have so many eyes on you. So, yeah.
the content creators that have millions and millions of followers and I mean, the millions of followers in itself should just be enough reason for you to say enough is enough, and I want my followers to know, like, what side I'm on. I just especially if you know that what's going on in the world is not right, then why not try to change the trajectory of how some people think or get rid of the people that think like that?
Yeah.
I would not want to be associated with them, but money is money. They don't care who's buying their albums or buying the products that they're promoting. Um,
Yeah.
so
That
yeah.
individualism.
Mhm.
And also
And
like,
so just like you said,
yeah.
what you said was, um, by her but Taylor being a white woman who's kinda leaning into her privilege right now, I think that that's also kind of the same way I feel about any random white woman, you know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? It's not
Mm-hmm.
just because she's an artist and she's famous,
Mm-hmm.
I just think that her platform and her reach is just so vast
Yep.
that I think that the way that the world heals is by calling people out on their bullshit, it's not even creating division,
Right.
it's just calling people on their bullshit, so
Yeah. Right, right, right. And like appreciative of that, right? And
mhm,
like it's yeah, I think that's for me, that's how like I show up in all my relationships in my life. Like if my stuff is if I'm saying something or doing something or whatever, like let me know and then I can hopefully change it, learn from it, correct those actions and so forth and then move along. Cause like that's the only way we're gonna change and that's the only way we're gonna, have anything
mhm,
happen in this life, but especially if somebody has a platform like that. Okay, so enough of our gossip talk, you guys. We're keeping
okay.
this short because we both have things we got going on today.
Yeah.
But do you have anything new, exciting, fun coming up? I know I heard you talk about your merch. I bought some of your merch,
Right.
and so I want
Oh,
to hopefully hear a little
awesome.
bit more about that. But if you have anything new coming up, if you want to share anything.
Yeah. Yeah, well, you can find my merchandise, I have United States of Embarrassment apparel, and that's, you can United States of Embarrassment.com, you can get it there. I also have an online bakery that also is, like, intertwined with the, website, and so I just started opening up online baking as well. I've baked for years, and so I had a whole line of, like, cookies for artists, and so it's rhythmandbakery.com. I'm going off on a tangent, sorry, it's my ADHD. Um, rhythmandbakery.com is just where you can find everything, and so social media, of course, is it's Iyonce on TikTok, and then on Instagram, it's Iyonce. And a lot of people get that confused, and it's my fault, but, my personal page is similar to my TikTok, so I'm like, "No, you can't come here. This is personal. I don't really
Yeah.
go to the other one." So, yeah, and YouTube, I'm on YouTube. I have a Substack I just started. It's Iyonce on everything, and yeah. And my podcast, Friend Pick Up the Phone, yes, new episode is dropping today as well, and, it's just Friend Pick Up the Phone on all platforms. I'm very excited about what's gonna happen this year. I hope to continue, just kinda spreading good news wherever we can find it, honestly. And
Yeah.
I'm very proud of you, right? I'm
Aw,
very
thank
proud
you.
of you for just using your voice in a way that probably at that moment didn't sound as loud, but it was so loud, girl. It was
Yeah.
so
Yeah. Didn't
you
know
know?
she was gonna do anything with that. Had no clue.
No, and I was like, "Oh, no, she's the let me talk about Heidi because I
Yeah.
like that."
I love it. I will
And
continue
I
to be
know that it
loud.
was just I know it was a lot for you because it was just like
Yeah, yeah, because I really hadn't been doing anything on TikTok. I think I had like 1,300 followers or something at that point. Just been playing
Mhm.
around with it just because I have coaching clients that like aren't TikTok, so I just mostly wanted to see what it's about. And then all of a sudden, yeah, it blew up. And but the death threats have been wild. I was like not expecting that. So like it is what it is now. Like I'm much better about dealing with all the hate. But like for sure, like if you blow up all of a sudden, just know
You've
you're gonna
got
get
to be
you're getting a lot of stuff in all directions. But
You've got to be prepared.
yeah.
You've gotta have some tough
Yeah.
skin. That's another thing
You
that you
have to have
talk
tough
about for
skin.
people who do content you
Yeah.
have to have thick skin,
Yes.
I have seen people, and as soon as you give your opinion, you succumb to and then they stop posting, and that just gives people more ammunition to just like, "Oh, no, you're not gonna bully me out of a space that I on the phone that I pay for?
Yeah.
No, we're not doing we're not doing
Not
that."
doing that. No, and
And then
also
yeah, and I think that it also just depends on the temperament. I would definitely say if you, cannot handle criticism, maybe even having to like, I've had to post a video where I was like, "Oh, I was wrong about something I said. I this is wrong." And I have no problem being accountable that way, but if you have a problem, oh, girl.
yeah. Because you're
So,
you're you're showing people the messy stuff real time. And also, yeah, if you don't have a little bit of a thick skin to understand that like there's gonna be a lot of people out there that are gonna say a lot of crazy things, it's going to be hard. And don't get me wrong,
and
that
then
first 24 hours was really hard because I had not gotten like those kind of death threats like ever since 2020. We got some death threats in
yeah,
2020 because just being in like an interracial relationship, the Proud Boys were like doing stuff and stuff like that around
yeah.
our neighborhood. But
Oh,
like it was different when it's, your business. Sometimes it's different when your house because like my husband, yeah, it's just like it's
but
crazy. But
imagine, think about
yeah,
it, imagine I couldn't imagine, and I'm just
yeah,
gonna say this, I couldn't imagine as a person of color seeing another person of color, like, hunt someone that I love or try to antagonize someone I love. That's crazy to me.
yeah,
And
it's
to for
wild.
you to have to like, I
Yeah,
and so and that's why I say sometimes, like, I get it. I get why some of y'all wanna lean into your privilege because it's comfortable there,
it's
right?
comfortable, right?
But
But we can't do
but
that.
I can't imagine having anyone in my circle or in my corner or that looks like me to just want to attack me just because I exist or because I love someone. So don't ever
Yeah,
think that you have to compromise that. Don't ever
right.
think and I applaud you for standing up and standing through it. So
Right, right. Thank you. And then everything you said, how people can, connect with you, I will put in the show notes, you guys. So
okay,
like
awesome.
all you have to do is just go to the show notes, click on it. I will put all four or even five of those links that she had mentioned. But other than that, Ayance, thank you for being on today. I
Of
appreciate
course.
you.
Of course. It's been amazing. Thank you for having me. Good luck, and you know where I am if you need anything. But yeah, I'll always pick up the phone.
Oh, thank you. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you did, I'd love for you to leave a review. It really helps more people find the show. And if you know someone who'd also enjoy it, share it with them or tag me on Instagram so I can thank you. New episodes come out every week, so be sure to subscribe so you never miss one. See you next time.